Hey, good morning. Marcus Conte reporting on the direction of popular music. Is this the new direction of popular music? Is this where we're going? Everything kirtan, everything. I sure hope so. I sure hope so. This is the way it's going. As opposed to doom, as opposed to, the age of doom and gloom. Maybe we go towards the age of awakening, the age of simplicity. Simplicity. You don't have to be a hippie. You don't have to dress like a hippie. It's not required. It's a feeling. It's a sense, right? And so I love these guys. Primitive, whatever. Primitive tribal craft. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the program. Thank you all for hanging in there with me. Yesterday, I had the day off. I was off doing something else. And I don't know, there's not much really going on. I think the fascinating moment is that we all get old and we all, at some point, are going to freeze. I think the big moment right now is when, not if, but when will Joe Biden freeze in front of the camera like Mitch McConnell has done 2 times already. Total frozen. Right? Now, Mitch McConnell is a sitting senator, but he's not that important anymore. He's able to say yay or nay. On the other hand, Joe Biden is the president of the United States with many, many decisions to be made on behalf of the American people on a daily basis. So is Joe Biden approaching that critical mass, the tipping point where he thinks he's coherent and he wants to be cool and smart, but nothing comes out, right? Just like Mitch McConnell. I think that we are. I think that would be... I may have speculated before about that, but I think that would be the deal breaker for the American people if they finally saw Joe Biden freeze in front of the cameras. I think it's entirely possible at 82. He's already diminishing greatly. You see him slowing down, his whole mental apparatus slowing down. So look at that. And keep following the zombies zombies out there in I forgot what the fuck they are. Oh, yeah, where are the zombies, man? Where's the zombies? Yeah, in Kensington Avenue in downtown Philly. Fascinating coverage, Kensington Daily. I find it fascinating that there's people that are zombieing out in the street, and we're worried about other things. Everybody's worried about other things. The people are zombieing in the street, losing limbs, breaking out in crazy drug-induced sores. What does it say about America, the first world that we're supposed to be, when we let our people die in the street? Are we just are we just an anthill? I reference ants often because I like to watch them, and you'll see ant colonies when an ant dies or drops to its knees or whatever, half dead. Instead of what happens is they literally loot, L-O-O-T, loot the body of the dead ant. In other words, they eat the dead ant. They consume the dead ant. Now, if you look down at Kensington, for example, when a junkie drops to the ground, the other junkies go through his pockets and take his shit, right? And in their mind, they're not stealing. They're just taking it so that someone else doesn't take it. And with the promise that someday they're going to give it back. Right? I'll give it back. If he makes it, I'll give it back. And then even if the guy makes it, and you're not getting your shit back. So the ants, in nature, it does seem that the ants will consume weaker ants. Right? So I don't know what I was trying to say there. But anyway, my mind will come back. A day off, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Oh, and also Oliver Anthony, the great Oliver Anthony, the one-hit wonder thus far, maybe three-hit wonder so far. He's been famous for about a month. And he got to sit down with Joe Rogan. He's on the Joe Rogan show. How about that? That was expected. Millions and millions of sound. I'm curious of. I'm not knocking Oliver Anthony. I was one of the first people to stumble on him and say, "Man, this guy's good," and talk about him. I like what he's doing. I'm just curious, because of the meteoric rise to fame. Is he going to self-destruct? Is he going to sell out? Is he going to go all political, like a Sinead O'Connor, and then wind up dead, with a bottle in his pocket and a needle? I don't know. It seems like he's going commercial. His tone is very light now, and we'll watch the interview. We'll watch pieces of the interview where he sits down with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, the master communicator. So we'll do that. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Snake in the house. William Smith. Vinny D. Martini in the house. Justin Falzone is here. What's up? Zoot Suit Cooter. Clayton Burgese. William R. Hall. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Snake. Snake, I think I said your name twice. Jim Gerard. What's up, Jim? Jim. My brother. So we'll look at these fascinating stories of our time. And this is my thumbnail today. This is Mitch McConnell, the great Republican majority leader, Mitch McConnell, 30 years in the Senate, right? Forever. He's been there forever, since he's a young boy. He was born into the Senate, and there he lived without term limits for his whole life. And now he's still there and refuses to step away. So he had another moment. We saw one where he was asked questions in front of the press, and he totally froze and didn't know where he was. And it wasn't a one-time event. We have another video of him totally freezing. And so I think it's safe to say Mitch McConnell, he still has 3 years left, if you can imagine. 3 years left of his term. Is he going to sit it out? Probably. Why not? Why not? Right? Mitch can come to the conclusion of yay or nay on a subject fairly easy, right? That's all he has to do is show up and vote. So I think term limits, that's the kicker. He wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be in the situation relying on a 90% senile man sitting in Senate. Term limits. I would say that's the solution there. So I have a website every morning, 9 a.m. somewhere, somehow. We are live. We're live right here on YouTube. Twitter's starting to look good. I'm just going to start to put some stuff over there. X, the Magic X. We'll also look at the markets. The markets are, I don't know, they were up a little bit in the pre-market. Now it looks like we may have a down day because we had 3 up days in a row. We'll break to the markets at 9:30 New York time. It's now 9:11. And so I have a website. If we're ever lost, just come here, marcusconti.com, and you'll find a link to where we are live. Or just watch the reruns on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Facebook, Twitter, Getter, Truth Social. Not D Live anymore, but I guess maybe someday we'll keep that one alive. But wherever you're consuming your social media, thank you very much for being here. Let's start here. So, famed... are things getting better? You have to ask yourself. Are things getting better and safer? The left is all about safety. Safe. I want to feel safe and secure. But it turns out that the same people, it appears, same type of people, appear to be stabbing and knifing people at festivals. So this is ongoing. It seems like there's something deep in extreme leftist black culture. That's prone to violence, and we're seeing it everywhere. So London's famous Nottingham Carnival reached its highest level of stabbings in 7 years as men with knives. 275 arrested and several hospitalized marred the two-day spectacle. So look at these photos, man. Look at these photos. Guy, look at the fucking knife in his hand, man, swinging a machete at some other guy. Some brother swinging the shit at another brother. Here's another guy going in for the dig. Look at the knife. Look at these photos. Need I mention black action and whites acting black? Are we allowed to say that? You're allowed to say blacks are acting white, right? You call them Uncle Tom. But what about whites acting black? What do we call them? Right? White grows or white bros, or I don't know what the fuck they are. But why not just be yourself? Why not just flock with your own feather? I say. But look what's going on. If you go to the festival, you might get stabbed. I mean, it's barbaric, right? It's people running around the street. It's all the flubby blacks, you know, and the fit black men. They're masked. They don't want you to see them, but we see the face. They're all blacks. I hate to say that. I feel that it's perceived as racist. But what else do I have? I have the video. I have the photographs of what's actually happening, right? And it does seem another set of images of blacks gone wild, chasing people with knives in the street. I don't know what the Nottingham Festival is in England. I really could care less. But there's the images. You can't make it up, man. What a horror scene, right? What a horrific. I know that England has a lot of the black community are African descent, real Africans from Morocco, from Nigeria, from wherever. In Africa, the black parts of Africa, and they have immigrated to Europe, and a lot of neighborhoods are flooded by this sort of immigrant. And but there is violence. This is what crime looks like. If anybody's confused about what crime is when you run down the street with a machete and chase somebody and scare the living shit out of them, right? Or go into a store with 30 people all dressed in masks and start stealing shit and breaking everything in your way and putting people's lives in danger, right? That they might get stabbed or run over. Right? Let's not forget what crimes are. Crimes are not some theoretical theory about an ex-president defrauding the American people because he was telling them that the elections are not fair. That's not a crime. That's a opinion. These are crimes. Do you understand leftist lawmakers and leftist prosecutors? This is what a crime looks like. When you take a knife and try to stick it into someone else's body because you don't like them or you disagree with them. This is what crime looks like. So there's a crime wave going on right now. Oh, let's look at the hippo eating watermelon. Hello, hippopotamus. Hello, hippo. Tame hippos eating watermelon. I could dig that. So let's flash to Kensington Avenue. This is the latest 9 hours ago. Let's watch the zombie show. Zombie. I feel like I want to play that song. Look at the dead body on the ground. People walking by. Probably not dead. Just kick it and it'll move a little bit. But it's mostly dead. It's 90% dead. And that's the scene. Massive litter. People just zombieing out. Look at this guy over here in the red. This guy's fascinating. Look at this guy. He just got his hit, and he's boom. He's going down for the count. Let's get a little closer to that guy. I think we got a close-up of him. This guy's doing great work, by the way, being out there. I love it. I love it. I love this guy's work. All right, here we go. So you get the zombie show close up. He's got my shit. I got my shit, man. I'm going to shoot my shit.
I gotta shoot my shit so I feel straight. Oh man, life is good. It wasn't good 10 minutes ago, but now that I got my shit, life is good. I'm sitting on the floor. I'm in Philadelphia, motherfucker.
And there's a zombie. There he is. These guys are fascinating to watch. Look, even the other guy, the guy in the green, is watching him. He dropped his hat. He dropped his hat.
I dropped my hat. I dropped my hat. I gotta get my hat. My fucking Philly hat.
It's a zombie move, man. I don't know, man. I think isn't it partially, it's got to be opioids. Is that the tranq doing that? I don't know. I don't know what they're buying, but what they're selling or what they're consuming on the street here, but it's reminiscent of heroin and methadone and fentanyl. But if tranq is doing that too, it's pretty. He snapped out of it.
I was just trying to pick up my hat.
It's a total Mitch McConnell moment, right? He doesn't know what the fuck just happened. He can't remember those few seconds that they're gone. That minute or two is gone forever. What else we got? People partying on the steps. Oh, they're fucking outstanding people. Drug culture in America.
I gotta go to Kensington any hour.
He's just nodding out there in wheelchairs. You saw the wheelchairs? Boom. I'm glad this guy's doing this video because I was going to go there and take a sniff around, but I don't have to, man. I could sit comfortably right here and not fucking worry about it.
Not worry about it. Not have to go undercover.
See, I'd be talking to people. I would go one step further. If I was doing this, I'd pretend to be the junkie.
How you doing, man? Let's get to shit, man.
You go there and you nod out on the corner and
what the fuck, man?
And you film the whole thing. Go there as a team. Have somebody film you. Have somebody put the camera on you when you walk through it. That'd be more interesting. Well, this is pretty interesting, but that would be... I wonder where they buy the drugs. You never see the drug deal going down. You never see like the money changing hands. You just see the junkies on the street shooting and sniffing and smoking. Oh, they're in love. It's garbage truck love. They fell in love on the street. So anyway, that's what's going on in Kensington. It's not getting any better. Let's look at Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell, the distinguished senator, having a freeze. Let's freeze. Let's see the freeze.
You're up for election in 3 short years. What are your thoughts?
The question is, I'll put the cam up. You're up for election in 3 short years. What's your thoughts on that? That's the question.
Senator, you're up for election in 3 short years. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm sorry, I had a hard time hearing you.
That's okay. What are your thoughts on running for re-election in 2026?
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
He has no idea. What? Who? How, what?
That's
Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Did you hear the question, Senator?
4 fucking solid seconds of nothing. Interruption by somebody, a handler.
Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute.
Oh man, I really hate to laugh, but it's you're caught on camera. You can't hide it, right? Mitch, you can't say that you're still present and you're not present, right? Somebody bail this guy out. In the old days, somebody would come to the rescue and get him out. Like, where's the Republican Party, man? Why are you throwing Mitch McConnell out in front of the cameras like this? Why are you letting Mitch McConnell walk out in front of the cameras?
Senator. Benny.
Get him a press secretary or something. Look at it. Look how long. He's gone. He's gone. He said he's okay. I'm back. I'm back. He's back. He took a little trip, and now he's back. Okay.
okay.
Somebody else have a
Weasty says his battery is low.
question? Please speak up. What efforts is Daniel Cameron going to have to make on the campaign trail when the campaign's over in November? Senator Daniel Cameron, do you have a comment on Daniel Cameron?
Well, I think the governor's race is going to be very close.
And he's a little lucid. He pops out of it. He definitely pops out of it. His handler screamed in his ear and he heard it.
He's far and away the best candidate we could have nominated. And our state has become increasingly Republican. In fact, the governor's the only Democrat left in Concord. So I'm optimistic that Daniel will be our next governor of Kentucky.
I think we can do one more.
Senator, what is your reaction on Trump's latest indictment? Would you support him as a nominee?
It's a question about Trump.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment about the president.
He can't understand the question. He doesn't understand the question. He only catches words. Trump, the governor, yeah, he catches words. He can't get the whole sentence.
Presidential race, either on the Republican side or the Democrat side.
So he's not going to comment on that. All right.
Okay, thank you all.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Sorry, thank you.
So it's safe to say, can he walk? Barely. He needs to be told which way to go. You saw that? He needs to be told which way to go. Let's watch. Yeah. He's got two handlers, and they're so it's official. Mitch McConnell has officially left the building. Joe Biden had something to say about it. What Joe Biden? See, the real kicker is Mitch McConnell. We know is gone. What about Joe Biden? Joe Biden commenting on his senior partner. Let's hear what he has to say.
I just heard literally coming out. And Mitch is a friend, as you know, not a joke. We always, I know people don't believe that's the case, but we have disagreements politically, but he's a good friend. And so I'm going to try to get in touch with him later this afternoon. I don't know enough to know. I just heard literally coming out.
So Joe Biden is, I think he's on deck. I'll be honest. I think Joe Biden is.
Georgia, South Carolina.
I think Joe Biden is on deck for a senior moment. What do you think? I think that we'll see it. I think we're going to see it in the next year. And, so what's the Democratic Party solution to that is smear Trump all you can, throw Trump in jail so Trump is off the campaign trail. He's being indicted. He's going to be sitting in a bullshit courtroom listening to bullshit the day before Super Tuesday, draining his battery. He's got to put on a fucking Walkman and just not listen to any of it. Right? So that's the strategy right there. They're gonna run this dead guy against Trump, who's firing still on all cylinders. And but again, I would say that if and when Joe Biden has his real, senior moment. Right, inescapable, on camera. All the media is there, even Fox, especially Fox, and they catch that moment, and the American people see what is running the country. Then maybe there'll be a change.
In North Carolina, to get people to safety. You've all been reporting this. You've seen it on television. There are a number of.
I'm just listening to his diction. I'm wondering when his battery is gonna run out. It's coming.
Rescues already taken place as I walked out of my office a moment ago to begin to recover from the impacts of this storm. I let each governor I spoke with know if there's anything the states need right now, I'm ready to mobilize that support of what they need. I don't think anybody can deny the impact of the climate crisis anymore. Just look around. Historic floods. More intense droughts.
It's not really true. More floods, more storms. That's not really true. I think, look, there is. I think the climate is changing. I think maybe even our sense of time is changing. I suspect that even though our clocks are not running faster, or maybe they are running faster, they seem to be the things that we create are still, and this is going to sound, this is not pot logic. This is real. Right? Think about this for 1 second. Even if you have a clock, and we manufacture this clock, we make this clock, and we assume that this clock is indestructibly keeping time, right? But the universe around it is moving faster, right? Or slower. We don't really know. Maybe it's moving faster, or maybe it's ebbing and flowing. Sometimes it's moving faster, sometimes it's moving slower. But the fact is that everything in the universe is affected by this speed of the universe. And what exactly is that speed? It's how fast the Earth is revolving around the sun. It's how fast the entire universe is revolving around some other center, right? And passing other universes. It's all mixed in. There's no continuity. There's no real consistency to any of it. So it is likely, on the note of climate change, everything is changing on Earth. Is it getting deader? Are we moving towards something more extinct of life? I don't think that appears to be the case. It appears that the climate is changing and becoming more hostile to who? To humans. It's becoming harder for humans. But I suspect that the planet time is actually moving faster. Even though the clocks don't record that, right? It's not recordable. It's the whole picture moving faster, right? So, and where is it moving towards? I don't know. It does seem that it doesn't seem like the planet is getting hotter or there's more waves. It's a very gray area on climate change. I do think that humans have an effect on it. I think that that's inescapable. The human element, the human explosion in population is causing a lot of these irregularities on Earth, right? Extinction of species, right? Who's the cause of that? Oh, they don't have any room anymore. They don't have a natural habitat. Why? Because the humans have taken it from them. So I don't know. That was just a little rant on climate change. I do think that the climate is clearly changing. I think that humans have a part in it. And if you want to, if you want that to go away, I'm having a Mitch McConnell moment. If you want that to stop, then you'd have to drastically reduce the number of humans on Earth. In the old days, we used to blow people up. We used to have nuclear war. Oh yeah, let's have a nuclear war. We're gonna beat the other side. But as time went on, not even 50 short or 60 short years later, we realized that blowing shit up is not a good idea, because when you blow up a big bomb on Earth, the fallout definitely comes back and bites you in the ass, and you're destroying the natural resources. And if you're at war with your enemy, you want to kill the enemy and take his shit. So it makes sense that the next series of wars amongst humans will be, viral wars with viruses. That makes perfect sense. Why do you want to blow up the property? What would you rather have? New York totally fucking leveled to dust from a nuclear explosion, or have New York City completely intact, except there's just a pile of dead bodies and you got to sweep the bodies out of there like 2 or 3 years later? What's more valuable to the guy who captures the other side? Well, I would definitely argue that killing the people is better than killing everything else just to get to the people. You follow what I'm saying? So the new warfare, although people think, nuclear is would be the end, I don't think so. I think people are smart enough to not want to blow each other up or blow up the thing that they're trying to steal. They're just going to kill people, right? And I think you see evidence of that in these gain of function laboratories where they make viruses that kill people. They have them. They have viruses that have 50 and 75% kill rates. And that's real. I think that's more of a concern than fucking trying to chase the climate from changing. So anyway, so let's listen to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan had Oliver Anthony on the show at 9:32. Let's watch. We're open, and markets are up. Markets are up. There we go. Let's see. So the ultras are up. Ultra shares, Nasdaq up 40. Dow Jones Industrial Average up 98. Ready to cross over 35,000. Dow Jones Industrial Average approaching 35,000 again. Historical high was 36.5. Only 1,500 points off the high. S&P 500 is at 45,300. Excuse me, 4,522. Jamie Dimon at J.P. Morgan Chase predicted by the end of the year, and he predicted this when it was way low, that the S&P 500 would be 4,700. And I think he's going to be right about that. I think that's where it's heading. NASDAQ down is up 35. So it does look like the markets are going up. It seems to be unshakable. I'm kicking myself. I got knocked out earlier and whatever, but I'm done complaining, man. I'm done complaining. I'm not a rich guy. I have very little. I have crumbs to play with, but I like when my crumbs grow. You know what I'm saying? I want my crumbs to grow. So there we go. It looks like the NASDAQ composite is opening up. And as of this moment, 4 minutes into the session, we're still holding. Yesterday was a big day up. Actually, 2 days ago was a big day up, followed by a slightly up. And now it looks like it wants to go up. Well, who could argue? Who could argue with it? Oliver Anthony on Joe Rogan.
People that are making some CGI,
there are.
AI.
There already
out
are.
there?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
What is that? I'm sure there are.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with a lot just because, I'm doing... So anything social media related right now, or any internet presence I have right now is coming from me off the phone, just like before everything blew up. So I haven't invested the time to look at everything circulating, but people like friends and family have sent me stuff, and some of it's pretty funny, but they've got all these different AI remixes of the song with different voices and overlaid different faces and all.
So if you don't know who Oliver Anthony is, extreme success, millions and millions of views and listens to his Rich Man north of Richmond. Big splash on the Joe Rogan show, not even famous for a month. And charming. We found out that he's 31 years old. His real name is Christopher. His tone here is different than the other videos that we've seen him in. His homemade videos are like, I hate these fucking people, man, trying to miscategorize me, and I'm just going to do my thing. And he was an angry fucking white guy. Now he's on the Joe Rogan couch, and you see how fame changes everything. He's flying down to Texas. He's smoking cigars with Joe Rogan. He's flying first class. He's getting picked up at the airport. Yes, Mr. Anthony. Hello, Mr. Anthony. Love your song, Mr. Anthony. Mr. Anthony. Right? So shit. Let's see if his head explodes. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, and it's
or he stays humble. One or the other.
Funny to see where it's going to go.
That is funny. Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with that. My daughter sent me some advertisement. She goes, "Did you do this advertisement?" I'm like, "Nope."
Yeah.
Nope, that's not really my voice.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
it is my
the
voice.
day after the day after things blew up, one of the towing companies had an ad on Facebook that had it wasn't really me, but it was a red beard and like the side profile of sunglasses looking out the window. I'm like, okay,
how dare you?
I guess I've made it anyway. That's when I realized like people are already ripping things off. And what's crazy is like every shirt that I've worn anywhere in public. There's a
what's interesting about Oliver Anthony is if you're a musician and you have an ear for that, he has a very, very consistent voice. His voice is rock steady at a pitch when he talks. It's very resonant, right? Even in his speaking voice. That's why he can sing well. He's got a really, really strong instrument, and you hear him while he's talking.
Organization that I'm not like a
it's deep and steady, very deep and steady voice.
Officially related to or in any way have done anything with, but it's a friend of a friend in the neighborhood. It's called Nets with Vets, and they take out veterans with PTSD and let them go deep sea fishing. And so he asked me last minute just to wear his shirt at one of the concerts. And do you know now there's like 1,500 listings online for counterfeit Nets with Vets shirts? And so the organization reached out like, hey, are you like making shirts, ripping us off? It's like,
See, 2 weeks ago, he was talking about the hard times of people working, fucking for $14 an hour, 60 hours a week. Now he's on the couch 2 weeks later, laughing it off. You see how money changes everything? You see how perception changes? Oh, it wasn't so bad. That's what I write about. I wrote about that. I don't write about that shit anymore because now I'm fucking society, right? Because now he's surrounded by people that are not suffering like that. And therefore, he's not going to suffer like that, right? Again, my suggestion to a guy like Oliver Anthony is call Bruce Springsteen. Call up Bruce Springsteen and say, hey, this is Oliver. And I love your stuff, man. Can you help me? And go hang out with Bruce Springsteen. Go sit on the fucking couch with Bruce Springsteen, and talk about music and guitars and play from the heart, right?
it's not me. So it's like it's a weird thing. But I've already experienced a lot of that stuff. Not so much on the AI side, but just I don't know. The internet's just such a rowdy place, you know.
Oh, it's so rowdy. The world's a rowdy place.
It is, and maybe people bring their best and their worst on the internet. Like I've always tried to stay off social media as much as possible, but I've learned very quickly that like Twitter and Facebook and stuff like you see comments and feedback from people, both overwhelmingly positive that maybe you wouldn't get in a personal conversation, but also like overwhelmingly negative too. You know,
Zukuda says he's changing. He uses a fake accent and all that. He is changing. That is irrevocable, inescapable, because he's so new at it. Right? He's fresh. Right? Joe Rogan isn't. You don't see Joe Rogan changing quite as quickly, but. That's why this guy's an interesting one to watch, Oliver Anthony. His meteoric rise from nothing, right? Probably not even 2 months ago, he was doing that $14 an hour, 60-hour a week thing. That painful grind, right? And now he's not doing that anymore. So his whole life changed, right? Is he going to be able to still connect with that audience? I don't know. It's to be seen. You got to look at the next round of songs. But I don't think he's near the next round of songs. I think he needs to go out on the road and play the songs that you have. If you got 20 songs, that's all you need. You only need 10. Go out there and play the same 10 songs in front of people, and you're good. You're good to go. Just do it by yourself, or get one or two friends to bang along with you on the drums and maybe a bass. Very simple. Keep it very empty. Or a keyboard player, something like that, right? Or a tambourine player. Keep it simple. Go out there and play the music and see what America is. Right? Don't change, motherfucker. Don't change before you've even made it. Before it's even had a chance to stick. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People just use that as a vent. They just take whatever seething hatred they have inside of them. They're like, oh, I'm getting that guy with it, you know?
If you had a song just about love that resonated like that, it would be almost impossible to hate you. But you have a song where you're talking about how people are fed up with shit. And it obviously resonated. I mean, I've seen songs go viral. But that's pretty bananas, son. Your shit went to the moon right away. And God, I'm not sure who sent it to me. I'll have to find out who sent it to me. Because it's one of those things where, like, once one person sent it to me, then it was like dozens of people were sending it to me.
It's funny because originally that song wasn't really even in my top 5. Like, it's not normally the type of song. I've written songs with similar messages, but as far as
2 weeks later, now he's talking like John Lennon. Well, I've written many songs, and he's a seasoned professional. Right? You see how that changed in 2 weeks? Was he always that way? No, he wasn't. He was nobody. He was a nobody, and then he became somebody, and now he's somebody. And he forgot what it's like to be nobody. Right? That's the human fucking defect. Right? Fuck them. It's the ants. Right? I don't need those ants. I remember Jay-Z said that. Jay-Z said, they asked him, I said, well, now that you've made it, why don't you go back to the ghetto that you sing about? Go back to the projects and give it away. Give it back. He says, I don't need to go to the projects anymore. So he made his money on the back of, black poverty. And, the opportunity to really be sincere and spread it around, he balked on that. So I think that's inevitable, I don't know. Is Oliver Anthony going to go back to the like in the true sense of folk music? Is he going to go back to the struggling workers and identify with them? Or is he going to hang out with the rich people like Joe Rogan and smoke fucking $70 cigars?
Or is that sort of like, I guess, anthem format is what people are calling it? It's like an anthem. Like, that's not something I would...
Weevil Girl says it would be hard to pass on the Joe Rogan interview, though. I say exactly, I agree. I couldn't agree more with that. Why would you pass? I'm not saying to pass. I'm saying that once you're there, stay true to, stop playing patty cake with Joe Rogan and stick to the guy that was sitting in his truck talking to the camera, talking directly to the American workers that are suffering in the middle of the country. Don't get off message. Use the platform. And Joe Rogan is a great place to do that because Joe Rogan's not going to push back, really. He's just going to let you talk. That's what he does.
Normally right, but
it's an unlikely anthem.
Yeah.
Insane times. It would be an unlikely anthem.
Yeah, I had no idea that song would react the way it did. At least in my case, I think the one thing that's helped me too is that my singing isn't the best, but I've never had any like vocal lessons or anything. So the way I sing is just the way I sing. And so like I think even the same way with her and other people, it's like it's maybe rough around the edges. It could be a little pitchy, or it's
you could sing fine. You do fine as a singer.
You're not using the right part of your face when you project and whatever. And so like on paper things aren't quite right, but I guess to another human it sounds right because it is what it is,
It's authentic.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any right way to do anything. I mean, it's like you see it in everything. There's a person who violates the rules and they're the best at it.
and then the rules almost morph into whatever that is. Like,
Snake says he's going to buy a house in Martha's Vineyard right next to Obama. Right?
Country in particular, but music in general has gotten way too wrapped up in like this algorithm of how many beats per minute it needs to have and how many verses and how they need to be layered, and it's like they've almost created.
All right. So the great Oliver Anthony is he's talking about the business. Oliver Anthony's on Joe Rogan talking about the music business, the industry, and the vibe out there. He's not talking about. He forgot. Look, 2 weeks later, he forgot about the working people. Did I miss it? Is he talking about the working class? I don't know.
Sort of a characterization of like that period in time and those people,
He's
under a
talking
totally
about,
different name, but
he's talking about the roots of the music. He's talking about his grandpappy. I didn't watch the whole 2 hours, to be fair. I'm watching the Rogan clip, the Rogan cut together, 12 minutes. But anyway, there you go, man. There's Oliver Anthony on the couch. Market's still going up, man. Going up without me. I'll see you guys. So let's let these guys. Again, this is the music. This is what we need to be hearing. I'm more interested in this. I wonder if Joe Rogan would interview this guy.